Okay, well, hello, everyone. We were just on our little 10-minute hiatus and break, so everyone could take a little stretch, hopefully stop staring at a screen, maybe get some water or a snack, but welcome back. My name is Claire. Again, I'm an assistant director in the Office of Undergraduate Admission here at Santa Clara. I've been your background tech person this evening, which, by the way, if you are still having any tech issues, feel free to message me through Zoom, but hopefully we've gotten them all worked out so far. I am not the star of the show tonight. It's actually our wonderful one-stop office who is, but before I turn it over to them, just a few reminders, especially in case you were not with us at our earlier session, Bronco Bound, What's Next? This is being recorded and currently live streamed in case we hit capacity. If you want, you can turn your video off if you don't want to be recorded at all, but just know we are only using the footage of our speakers, so your face isn't going to be plastered anywhere, so no worries about that. Other than that, you also will notice that you have been muted. We please ask that you remain muted for the rest of the evening. If you do have any questions, you can use our chat feature. If you are having, just also know as well, though, that we may not get to all of your questions. Our one-stop team has some great information they're going to be sharing, so they'll probably cover your questions before you even get the chance to ask them. But you can always chat them in if you want to make sure we are aware of the questions you have. And then also, because this session and our prior session, Bronco Bound, What's Next, all of these sessions for our incoming students and parents, they are being recorded, these sessions that are informational. And then we will be editing them to make sure it's all the information you need and just our speakers. And then we'll be putting those on our YouTube page and our website so that you will have access to them later. Processing can take about a week, so these will not be available tomorrow, but ideally sometime next week. So thanks for joining us. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Trista.
Wonderful. Thank you, Claire, and welcome to our Bronco families. My name is Trista San Agustin, and I am the director of the One Stop Office here at Santa Clara. And so I'm going to go over a little bit about what the One Stop does and is, and how we can assist your students in the next 4 years. I have my colleagues with me that will be going into a little bit more specifics, but all of this is really going to be high level, just so you have a chance to meet us, know we're here to support your students, and more information will be coming over the summer from all of our offices, so that you can really understand what we can do, how we can help, and how we guide the students from orientation and registration all the way through preparing to graduate 4 years from now. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and start the presentation. And I will introduce my crew here. Okay, hopefully everyone can see the screen. The one-stop contact information is here. Again, this whole presentation is being recorded, so feel free to go back, take pictures of certain screens you want to have embedded forever in your brain, but also know that we're here on the chat if you do have questions, and then also you can go back and view the recording. So my crew is here with me. Again, my name is Trista, and I am the director of the One Stop. You'll be hearing also from Cindy Tirado. She is our senior associate director in our financial aid office. Dwayne Voigt is our university registrar, and Suzette Calderoni is our university bursar. So as far as the One Stop goes, we are luckily located in the same building as our undergraduate admission office. So it's a smooth transition from students who maybe did get a chance to come on campus at some point for an on-campus tour and got to visit the admissions office. We're in the same building. So the transition, once we are back on campus in September, is going to be very easy for these students. We in the One Stop have found that financial aid questions, registration questions, and billing questions kind of all morph together. And students and parents don't necessarily know what their question is in order to find the correct office. So we've created this one-stop center where it doesn't matter which office your question is related to. Contact us. We are cross-trained in answering questions on all three offices and their questions, and then any other offices on campus that we work very closely with, we will be able to either answer your questions as well or put you in touch with the correct person in that office to assist you. So for financial aid, we're able to answer questions regarding eligibility of aid, the FAFSA, aid requirements. Our registration questions run the gamut from class registration to eCampus troubleshooting and navigation. eCampus is the students' online portal. So they are going to be living and breathing eCampus for the next 4 years, and we can help troubleshoot through eCampus. And then Course Avail is a page on our website where students can find classes they want to register for, research classes, when they're available, which terms they're available, and who the professor is, what the times are. So they use that Course Avail as kind of a cheat sheet to register for classes every term. Of course, during the summer, in July, students will have assistants registering and getting academic advising from our Drama and Advising Center, which I'm sure you're familiar with after the last presentation. But Course Avail, in addition to any academic advising, is really the students' Bible to class registration, as they'll be registering for classes on their computers from their residence halls starting in the winter quarter. And then FERPA, of course, is a federal regulation, which we will talk about as well. The Bursar's office, we answer all questions related to billing, due dates, payment options, refunds, and authorized payer setup. So the authorized payer is a setup that we ask our students to set up parents as authorized payers, so that when you as parents want to view the bill, pay the bill, look at the financial aid on the bill, set up a payment plan, you can log in with your own username and password and view all of the billing related things without having to bother your student, without having to say, oh, what's your password again? And I need to log in. And you have your own username and password where you can get to the billing information without bothering the student. And then, of course, as I mentioned before, we troubleshoot eCampus. So any student that has a login issue or academic or financial holds, we find that in the one-stop, students can't register for classes for the next term if they have an outstanding balance still from the prior term. And most students are not able to pay their bill in full without some sort of financial aid, whether it's grants, scholarships, work study, and so on. So when a student has an outstanding balance that's past due, there is a hold on the student's account that prevents future registration. So we work with students and families all the time to make sure that the student accounts are free of hold, so that the student has no problem registering for classes at their assigned date and time for the next term starting in the winter. And then we always encourage students to make sure to update their contact information as well in the eCampus. So at this point, I'm going to turn the mic over to Cindy Tirado in our financial aid office. She's going to go through briefly high-level financial aid information for us. Cindy, take it away.
Thanks, Trista, and welcome everybody. I'm so excited to see everybody. Unfortunately, it's not on our normal way that we do these, but you know, we're getting used to doing the Zoom meeting. So what our office does, and you know, in conjunction with the One Stop, but my team manages financial aid advising. So we take over more of the difficult questions that are more detailed with the students. So One Stop will schedule these appointments with my team. We award, we report, and disperse aid. So we ensure that all the financial aid that the student has accepted disperses in a timely manner into the student's account. So our counselors will email students if they haven't, for example, done a master promissory note, if they accepted a loan, things like that. We also administer federal, state, and university aid programs. So we make sure that, students' aid doesn't go over their cost of attendance, that they're maintaining satisfactory academic progress so that they're on their way towards graduation. And if they're not, we notify the student, letting them know that they got to come see us so that we can work through these issues. Now I'm going to briefly go over things that we'll be going over during orientation, but I kind of wanted to just kind of give you a heads up, because if you are going to have to do these forms, it's always nicer to have them ahead of time. So if the student is randomly selected for verification, and I was randomly selected every year and I went to the same college as my sisters, all 4 years. So it is a random selection. If they're randomly selected, they'll have to complete what's called the verification form. And this is for students that are receiving federal aid. This includes a Federal Plus loan. We're gonna send this out probably the second week of July to the students that were randomly selected, and they'll have to complete that by the August 13th deadline to ensure that their aid does go into their account in a timely manner. If you wanna go to the next one, Trista. I took a snippet of just what the form looks like, just so that you get an idea of what you and the student will have to fill out. I recommend that you make sure that on each page you put the student name and ID, just if we're back live on campus and the student drops them off. Sometimes they do, students will lose a page, so we'll know if we're missing a page for a student, and we can always contact the student. It is a 7-page document. You will possibly need to submit tax forms, and what we find when we do verification is most of the time students end up getting more money because they report something wrong on their FAFSA. You also want to make sure that both you and the student do sign, and it has to be a wet signature. At this moment, we don't know if the COVID extension where we can have not a wet signature because of COVID, it will be extended, but at this point, we are asking for a wet signature. If that changes, when we send our verification request, we will notify the students and the parents. Next one. Appeals. So if you have completed your FAFSA, and we understand because of COVID, things do change, loss of income, divorce, separation, death of a parent, we do have an appeal form that you can fill out. It's on our website. And you want to make sure you fill it out and attach any documentation that you think will help us make our decision. Sometimes even if we enter the information of a reduction in income, it doesn't make a difference for any federal aid, but we do look at every single appeal and we do respond to every single appeal. So we want to make sure that if something that has happened or will happen in the future, you want to just let us know, communicate with us. Sorry, my internet's a little slow too. And then hopefully by now the student has accepted their award letter. If not, take a picture of their award offer. If not, take a picture of this, because this is how the steps that they would need to complete to accept their award. Or they can also call the One Stop and they can walk them through it. And then every year they will have to go in and accept their new award. So loans are not automatically accepted for students. Student needs to go in and accept them, and they'll have to complete additional documents. And go ahead. Briefly, if you applied for, you did a FAFSA, the student was automatically considered either for a subsidized or an unsubsidized loan. And we always give the subsidized loan that doesn't accumulate interest first before we do the unsubsidized. But we'll go over all of these during parent orientation. And these are the federal loan limits. As you can see, they're very limited because the federal government is trying to minimize what the student borrows. And that's the current year origination fee and interest rate. So that will change July 1 for our incoming class. And some schools will put a Parent Plus loan on the award letter. We do not put it on the award letter, but you can apply as a parent for the Plus loan if you choose to cover the cost of Santa Clara. You would just go to student loans to apply, and then you will have to Once you apply, we ask that you wait till after July 1 because it is a credit-based loan. It's not as difficult as a home loan or a car loan. And I did see a chat come up real quick. The profile is only the first year. We don't ask for it from now on. And just keep an eye, the student will now, once they become matriculated, will now get emails from us to their SU email. So we always, any issues or anything, we always notify the student with verification. If you haven't done a FAFSA, it's not too late to do a FAFSA. Feel free to do it at any time. And then moving forward, we know we asked for the FAFSA as early as incoming freshmen. Moving forward, now the deadline will be March 2nd, just for the FAFSA. No longer, we no longer need the profile. And then just remind the students that any communication from the financial aid office, it's all going to come from the One Stop. That's our hub. We all communicate through there. Thank you. And then I guess now I'll hand it over to Dwayne.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Santa Clara. As Trista mentioned, we want to welcome your students. We're really excited about getting them on campus as opposed to remotely. I'm sure you're eager to have them get on campus as well. So welcome. And yeah, my name is Dwayne Voigt. I'm the registrar. And we're kind of Trista mentioned a lot of the things that we're responsible for. We're kind of behind the scenes, and we're, really Trista's team does a great job of the first interaction with students, and then we follow up with students and different cases. So our office is really responsible for maintaining the students' official academic records. That's real key. She mentioned FERPA, which is the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act legislation that's been in effect for many years. We're responsible for ensuring that students' rights and privacy are protected. We are also responsible for posting grades and for scheduling courses, scheduling classrooms, keeping students' degree audits in line and in check, and ensuring that students we work closely with Drummond Advising Center and with many of all the academic departments to ensure that students are staying on track in terms of degree requirements. We also will confer degrees, which is a real important thing. Maybe not this year for your students, but very soon. We're hoping they'll all be graduating in the near future, as I'm sure you are. And basically, we're keeping the undergraduate bulletin up to date. We're responsible for providing transcripts, official transcripts and unofficial transcripts, as well as verification certificates, enrollment verification certificates. So we work closely with your students as well as with academic departments and all of the offices on campus. So I think I will leave it there and hopefully leave time for questions following this. All right, well, we can go on to Suzette Calderoni who's a bursar on campus.
Thank you, Dwayne. Hello, everyone. It is very nice to see you all, and I'd like to reiterate that we are very excited about everyone coming back in fall. It'll be so wonderful to be there and have all of the kids there. Anyway, I am Suzette Calderoni. I'm the University bursar, and as everyone else has mentioned, we're going to pretty much do a 30,000 view of the payment expectations, the financial information. So you have an overview and understanding of some dates. And one thing we do is communicate often. So you will see emails, you will see letters. So I'm going to jump right in and tell you what our office does. We are responsible for the accuracy and the integrity of all student accounting records and our receivables portfolio, which includes our former Perkins loan. We process all student-related billing, and that will include tuition, room and board, miscellaneous charges, health insurance, steward's tuition insurance, and like I said, any other access charges. We administer the SU pay site and the term payment plans. We process the student refunds, and we do the 1098-T reporting to the IRS. Go ahead, Trista. Okay, payments, billing and payments. Our payment deadlines, the one that you're going to want to see, or your first one will be for fall, for August, will be August 21st. Our winter quarter is December 21st, and our spring quarter is March 21st. Summer is an alternative quarter or, that the students can attend, and that one is May 21st. We bill monthly at the beginning of the month. You will get, if your student hopefully set you up as an authorized user, hopefully they will, or whoever's going to be assisting them with their bill. You'll get a billing statement email telling you there's a billing statement available for you. Please do me a favor. A lot of people think once the financial aid is done and you've made your payment, sometimes a miscellaneous charge or something else, there could be an adjustment that can come through in a subsequent month. Please make sure that you're checking your monthly bills. We do offer a payment plan for those that want to spread out the cost over the quarter. It is, if you enrolled at the beginning, as soon as you get your bill, we have a 3-month payment plan. It is interest-free, but there is a small $40 per quarter enrollment fee. The payments, you must enroll online, and the payments will be automatically deducted from your bank account each month on the 15th of the month. The good news is that it's a small amount, and also the fact that you don't have to think about it because we automatically go in and take care of it for you on the 15th. We do not have an annual plan right now, so you have to re-enroll every term. I see a question. Our bills are monthly. You will receive a monthly bill. You may not have any activity on it, but just in case I would check it. But otherwise you will see your quarterly bills will come out around August 1st, December 1st, and March 1st, depending on where the first falls. Our payment options, how you can pay us, is the SCU Pay site will allow you to make an electronic payment. You can do that in conjunction when you pay your bill of, say you have financial aid of X amount of money, you can pay the difference, or you can join the payment plan. You enroll in that online through the SCU Pay site. Once you're set up as an authorized user, you would log into that directly. You can mail a paper check to us, to Santa Clara. It'll go to the One Stop, and Trista and her crew will make sure it gets posted to your student account, your student's account. We do accept the 529 trust account checks that can be sent to SCU. We are working on trying to automate that through an electronic process, so stay tuned. And students, international students, we have an agreement with Flywire, which is a wonderful organization and actually just went public yesterday. And they provide excellent rates and service all around the country. I'm sorry, all around the world. One thing we have made available for our families is a tuition insurance plan. The tuition insurance plan will protect your investment in your students' education. All of our undergraduate students are expected to be enrolled full-time, so all of them enrolled 12 units and more will be automatically enrolled in the tuition insurance plan. As I said, it reimburses 80% of your out-of-pocket costs should your student be diagnosed with a medical or mental health situation. Please know that we understand that some people could be on a full scholarship. They could have some tuition remission. And you may not want, or you may choose you do not want to participate in the plan. You can opt out of the plan. You just need to do it prior to the first day of the quarter. And so I put the deadline on there. It is September 19th. You do have the option, you can decide to enroll. And if maybe you get a full scholarship at a further date, you can in a subsequent quarter, a future quarter, disenroll, decide you don't need it, or the opposite. You can not enroll and then change your mind and decide to enroll. So I do want to, really emphasize the fact that, it is a very inexpensive option to help protect your investment. For the year is $192 to cover $55,224 in tuition. It's $64 a quarter. So please seriously consider it. You will be getting a letter from us, you'll get a welcome letter from the bursar's office this summer, and there will be information about the plan for you in that letter. So please look for it sometime around mid-July. Okay, financial responsibility. All of our students are required to accept financial responsibility. And the students, while we know you guys are probably paying the bill, the students are ultimately responsible for all charges, any expenses related to their enrollment here at Santa Clara. And they need to follow the policies, not the parents. So they are required to sign a financial agreement. when at the beginning of each year. And one thing you can do is you can get a copy of it. We post a copy of it on our Bursar website. The website was on the first page, but our website's pretty easy. If you know what office you want, it's just scu.edu/one-stop Bursar Registrar. It's great. One thing to let you know between the financial responsibility and one reason I mentioned the tuition refund policy or tuition refund insurance is our tuition refund policy is applicable for students who completely withdraw, that do not drop classes. If you drop classes after the last date of register, we do not have a refund. We do not refund course charges. So please note that after the first week, during the first week of the quarter, it's 100% refund of tuition, less any applicable fees, tuition and fees, excuse me, less any fees. 50% the second week and 25% the third week. So again, one of the best things about having the tuition insurance is it helps protect that investment should your son or daughter become ill and unable to further to continue to attend Santa Clara in the next 10 or 7 weeks of the quarter. Go ahead, Trista. I think that's it for me.
Great.
Yep.
Thank
So I
you
think
so
Trista's
much for
next.
that.
Thank you.
And Dwayne and Cindy. We made excellent time, but that also means that we went very quickly through a lot of important information. So if you're overwhelmed by 3 offices worth of critical information here, please do not worry. We have the rest of the hour to answer your questions. I want to go over a couple next steps. I've got 12 next steps here, so 2 slides worth of next steps. And then I would like to answer some questions from the chat, go back to prior screens, slides if you'd like me to, go into a little bit more information if questions are out there and questions arise. So these last 2 slides are really just the next steps between now and when school starts in September. We have an amazing checklist on the admitted student website. I'm a note writer. I have to-do lists all over the place and get such pleasure in crossing things off of my to-do list. So I love checklists, and the admitted student checklist is perfect for getting through these busy summer months. So if you navigate to our website, scu.edu/admitted, you'll see the checklist there. Lots of things you've already been able to cross off your list, which is so fun. But there's quite a few others that are happening between now and September. So in early June, students are going to be receiving more access to eCampus. Right now, they have access to have made their deposit. They have access to the housing portal where they've been able to make their housing deposit and choose their residence hall. And but in early June, students are going to get access to their Santa Clara University email, which they'll quickly get in the habit of checking daily so that they can receive all of our wonderful fan mail. The FERPA release that Dwayne spoke of is a federal requirement, basically letting families know and letting students know that now they're enrolled in higher education, they have a right to privacy. So it's different than high school where grades are being sent to you on a daily basis, or you can communicate with teachers and counselors and get everything answered right away. The students do need to complete the FERPA release on their eCampus portal to list any family members or even non-family members, friends, mentors, whomever it is, usually it's parents. They're authorizing us to be able to speak with you and email you and answer your questions. So the last thing we want to do is get to when school starts and the students are in class and they're busy and you call us and ask questions and we have to apologize and say, we're so sorry, we don't have your information on our FERPA release. So mark the calendar for early June. Once their eCampus access opens up a little bit more, they'll be given access to complete the FERPA release. It's a one and done thing. So they do it in the first year and that remains for all 4 years. Same with the authorized payer. In early June, they'll be given an opportunity also on eCampus to set you up as an authorized payer, which means that you will receive an email with a temporary password, and you can set that up for yourself and keep that for the next 4 years. We do ask students to make sure to accept or decline their financial aid by July 23rd, which will give us the opportunity to make sure that the billing statement that we release to you on August 1st has all of that aid to reduce the bill for the fall term. The parent loan application, if you're interested in financing or bridging the gap between what financial aid is currently covering and an outstanding bill. Cindy discussed a little bit about the parent loan, and we would like to have you apply for the parent loan by July 23rd as well, so that it shows up on the bill on August 1st. The application opens July 1st on the lender's website, and more information is on our financial aid website. And it's a quick application. We receive it within 24 hours, and the financial aid counselors update the financial aid award to show that there's a new loan there that's going to cover some or all of the outstanding balance. Health insurance. All students enrolled full-time are required to be covered under health insurance. Most students are covered under their parents' health insurance through their work employment. But we do have a really great health insurance plan through our Cowell Health Center. If students are already covered under your health insurance, they do not need to be double covered. We ask that all students complete the health insurance waiver on the Cowell Health Center website by July 23rd as well. If the waiver is not done by July 23rd, it's not the end of the world. We will charge the university health insurance, however, on the August 1st billing statement. There is still time to complete the waiver after the bill goes out. So again, it's not the end of the world, and July 23rd is not the be all end all insurance waiver deadline. We'll give you lots more chances to do that. But it does take your breath away a little bit when you view that August 1st bill and you see this charge for health insurance. That's almost $3,000 for the year. So we don't want to charge you any more than we already are, especially for unnecessary health insurance if the student is covered. I'm going to go over the next few next steps, and if there are any unanswered questions in the chat, we can go over those as well. Financial aid and the bursar's office will be having parent Zoom presentations for parents to go over everything we covered today in much more detail. So again, if panic is setting in and you're thinking, how am I supposed to remember all of this? There's too much going on here. We will have dedicated sessions for parents to RSVP and join us again on Zoom in June and July. We'll have a few live sessions where we can go over in detail what we've gone over today and answer some questions in the chat. Those sessions will all be recorded, so you can view them later, or if you don't get a chance to view them live, just view a recording at a later date. And you'll find out more about when those are in the Bronco prep guides that come out from our new student programs department. The emails that come out, I think it's weekly now, the new student programs department sends out the Bronco prep guide to students and parents with lots of information and links to other websites. And they'll be coming out with a schedule of different Zoom presentations for parents. And then the big August 1st date will come along, our fall billing statement that you as parents will be able to view as an authorized payer. You will have already hopefully been set up as an authorized payer by your student. You'll have your own username and password. You can log into our authorized payer portal, which we also call the SCU Pay site. You'll be able to view the billing statement. Each billing statement will have tuition and fees room and board, which includes a meal plan, minus financial aid, and then it will show the net costs that are due by August 21st. And so again, if the health insurance waiver is not completed by then, you will see a health insurance charge that can still be waived, and then we remove the charge from the bill. And then all outstanding balances are due by the August 21st payment deadline. Number 9 here, what Cindy was talking about, if your student's FAFSA has been selected for the tax verification process, we will be sending out information in July with an August 13th initial due date, priority due date, to get the documentation to us. And make sure to pay your bill or have aid and parent loans in place to cover the bill by the August 21st payment deadline. If your students are borrowing student loans, we would like to have the student loans accepted on eCampus by July 23rd so that they show up on the billing statement. We allow a little bit more time for the required loan documents to be completed. There's an MPN, or master promissory note, that needs to be electronically signed by the student. This is kind of the promise to pay, or the contract that the student is entering, saying that they'll repay these loans beginning 6 months after graduation and through a 10-year standard repayment plan. The entrance counseling is also a required tutorial that just goes over what it means to be a loan borrower. This is the first time these students are borrowing loans and building credit, which is a wonderful thing, but at the same time, it is loan debt that needs to be repaid. And so the entrance counseling tutorial does a good job of explaining all of that. And deadlines for those are September 1st. We will be sending out lots of email reminders about all of these deadlines, which is why it's critical that students make sure to set up their email, their SCU email on time, and continue to check it. And then, as Suzette mentioned, the doer's tuition insurance is automatic. You're automatically enrolled. It is an opt-out tuition insurance. So the $64 per quarter that Suzette mentioned will automatically be on the August 1st billing statement unless you complete the waiver. But again, very inexpensive tuition insurance. There's students start the term healthy, and who knows what can happen. So we want to make sure that students who are injured, who fall ill, who are having some mental health difficulties, your investment is protected by the tuition insurance. So we have quite a few questions in the chat. I don't know if they've been starting to be answered while I'm chatting away here. If anyone has a question in the chat that Suzette or Dwayne or Cindy that you want to read out to me, I'm happy to answer it, or you can take the lead and do that yourself as well.
I think we're up to
about
date.
credit cards. No, I think there was one they asked if they can pay
I
with
responded
credit
to the
cards.
credit
Oh, did
cards.
you? Okay, good.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah,
Don't take it.
Trista, I think we've been trying to keep up with the questions pretty much. But I do want to, I just remembered that I wanted to say, just make a note, a lot of our students and a lot of your students have been, have taken AP level classes and exams. And what we learned from the Education College Board is that the test scores won't be reported until later in July, which is after first year students actually will register for classes. And therefore it's real important that your students will take the calculus readiness exam, the CRE, which is an online, and we've sent that information to them, but I just want to maybe let you know as well, so you can remind your students of that. And then the modern language placement exam as well. So if they can do that online, they've been given directions on that, but that would be very helpful in terms of placing them in the correct level of especially math and language. Okay.
I want to jump in on this question. I don't think I covered it. Someone asked if their financial aid and merit scholarships. Oh no, I lost it. Will the billing statement that's sent out reflect merit and totals due prior to the first payment deadline? Yes. I got to put a caveat on that, and either Cindy or Trista can jump in. As long as you've taken care of your financial aid, I'll call responsibilities, the things you need to take care of, especially if you're doing a plus loan, it will show up as anticipated aid as a credit against your tuition and fees and your room and board. If you don't, or let's say you waive the health insurance after the bill is generated, when you log in, once you're set up as an authorized payer, when you log in, you will see the reduced balance that is now due. You don't necessarily have to pay what's on the statement if you've gotten more aid, if you've waived the health insurance, you've waived the doers, the amount due will be out there and the reduced amount will show up there. Trista, you want to jump in? Is there anything I need to add to that? There is one more question I need to look at.
Go ahead.
There is one, and I'm not, this I don't know. Somebody asked, are there athletic fees for team members? That I do not know. It isn't anything that comes through the student account. Trista, Cindy, Dwayne, Claire.
Not that I know of, but they can check with the athletic department. I've never
check with the
heard of
coaches.
anything like that. Yeah, with the coaches, they would know. Or Ryan Mers, he would be another good contact.
Right. I figured between the coaches and Ryan, they could reach out to them.
Yeah, nothing that would be billed, nothing that shows up on the billing statement.
There's one more. I assume if the student has to leave the school for some reason and doesn't have the insurance, are they only responsible for the rest of the quarter? If you don't have the insurance and you withdraw from the university, if it's after the third week, there is no refund. So it says, are you responsible for the rest of the quarter? I think that's what you mean. So yes, you are required to pay the full tuition and fees. If you're living in housing, they do prorate it. I think that's what that question means, hopefully.
Right. Here's the tuition refund policy again. So yes, students can register for classes and then completely withdraw from the university, change their mind during the first week and receive all their money back.
Right.
Starting the Monday of week 2, the tuition refund falls all the way to 50%. So
right.
Students may have only completed a couple of days of class or at best case scenario, 1 full week, and they're already on the hook for 50% of the tuition. So this is why it's critically important for the doers tuition insurance to kick in, first of all, but then to really have a conversation with students about making the decision to stay in the quarter for during the first week. That decision needs
right.
to be made by the Friday of the first week of class,
right.
Because it can get expensive starting in week 2.
Right. And maybe this person may have said, may have been indicated, they said, are they only responsible for the rest of the quarter? You would not be responsible for future quarters, even if I can't say if you didn't register. If you've registered for future quarters, you need to withdraw from the university, or you will be, you'll be responsible for paying for those courses if you haven't withdrawn. So just if for whatever reason that you decide to withdraw, hopefully your student can finish the quarter, since after the third week, unless it's a medical, you have the insurance and you have a medical or mental health situation, you are paying for the full tuition. There is a question about, do we have a junior year abroad exchange program? Dwayne, that's you.
Yeah, so first I want to clarify the AP. I think there have been a few questions about that, and it's only for those students that took AP classes in this past year. If they have a score from last year or 2 years ago, then we'll already, and they've sent that, submitted that the score to Santa Clara University, then we'll already have that record, and we'll already post their test credit into their record. So so we'll have that. So they don't need, it's only for those students that took the test this spring that will not have information until late July. And therefore they would need to take the calculus readiness exam or the modern language exam. Okay, and then the question about study abroad, we have a where is that?
It's two up. Oh, Claire put out a study abroad video for the student.
Oh, wonderful.
Thanks, Claire.
Yeah, that's good.
Is there anything else? Oh, someone asked about looking into applying for on-campus jobs. Absolutely. Trista, would you mind jumping in on that one?
Sure. So yes, oh gosh, we can't wait to be back on campus and see our students and work with them again. My goodness. Most departments on campus cannot survive without our student assistants, the one-stop included. And there are lots of on-campus jobs available, both for students who are eligible for federal work study through the FAFSA and those students who are not eligible for federal work study. Both types of students have the opportunity to apply for jobs on campus. During the first year, you know your students, your son or daughter best, whether they've been working in high school, they've got their time management skills down pat. Some choose to take the first year off and not work. Others might be fine with it. And so we ask that the first step is for students who are interested in finding a job, go to our Career Center website. Again, scu.edu/career center, all one word. And then I believe on our Human Resources website, there may be a link as well. The link that I'm talking about is a link to a type of software called Handshake. So all on-campus jobs all students on-campus jobs are posted on Handshake, which is on the Career Center website and our Human Resources website. So students would log into the Handshake software, and that's where they will see all of the job descriptions that departments will post with their job description, their hourly wages, their hours that are needed. And so students can look through all the available job descriptions, find something that meets their time management or their time that they have, their skills, and so on, and apply by submitting a resume to the hiring supervisor. The supervisor will then reach out and either schedule an in-person interview or a phone interview. And students, once they start working, earn a paycheck every 2 weeks, just like anyone else does. And they can use that pay for anything education related. If it's work study, we ask that it be education related. So the student can enroll in direct deposit, get their paycheck that goes directly to their bank, and they can use that for living expenses. You can decide as a family if you would like them to contribute towards their tuition a little bit. There's a maximum hours of 19 hours per week that a student can work. We really want the students to focus on their academics. That's why they're here. But some students are able to manage it and can work a maximum of 19 hours a week. We find that the average is between 10 and 12 hours per week that students can work. Yes.
Trista?
Sorry, real quick, Suzette, sorry. And if they don't have federal work study on their award letter and they want to see if they're eligible, you guys can email the One Stop and then we can check if you have need. And if we have the funds available, we will offer it to the student. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Trista, someone has asked, can you put up the last slide again, please? Page number 2. Next steps number 2.
Yeah.
We don't look like we have any more questions.
And then contact information is on our website, of course, scu.edu/onestop. It's also on slide number 1. So I don't want to switch back from here until everyone's got their deadlines and their next steps taken care of, but I can flash to slide number 1 real quick as well. So everyone has our contact information. And again, Cindy, Dwayne, and Suzette and their amazing teams are all also located in the admissions and enrollment services building, which is where undergraduate admissions is located. One Stop is located. Admissions and One Stop are on the first floor of that building, and Cindy's team, Dwayne's team, and Suzette's team are all on the second floor, sort of making all the magic happen behind the scenes. So any students can contact One Stop at any time, and parents can reach out to One Stop as well. And we have all of the amazing staff in Suzette, Dwayne, and Cindy's offices at our fingertips, ready to answer questions that we may need clarification on. So again, we're cross-trained on all 3 offices and able to help with all of that and then some. Any other last minute questions? And I'll switch to our contact information slide.
Nope, I don't see any other ones.
Okay.
No, just wonderful thank yous.
Mhm.
And we'll get to slide number 1, and you can jot down our contact information. And any last minute questions? Our office hours right now are 9 to 4. Our phones are open and we're still working remotely, but so excited to be back on campus with our students once again. So we cannot wait.
But where will this recording be posted is a question. Do you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
great question. So it will be edited throughout the next week and then put up on our SCU Admission YouTube channel. And it will also be available by link through the admission website. And you will likely be getting an email with a link to it as well. So multiple ways for you to find it. But you can always, I will, in just a second, I'll put a link to the YouTube page in the chat. There's a wealth of information there. So I encourage you all to check it out. Even videos from this past year that are about specific academic departments are a great place to start because they might answer some of your questions before you even need to reach out.
And a question on dorm room availability. I think Residence Life will be sending out information on that shortly, or you'll be getting, your
Yes.
student will be getting that.
Yeah, I believe that's going to come out after the students are given their SCU email addresses. And I believe that's early June. So that's coming up right around the corner. Students will receive an email to their non-SCU email, their high school email or their personal email with instructions on how to create and log in to their SCU email. And that's when the real transition occurs, where all of the communication will be going to the student's SCU email at that point. And then shortly after that, students can complete the FERPA release, set up parents as authorized payers, and little by little get everything completed.
Just a quick note that I want to make too, just as the admission office representative, we of course are still happy to continue to help you as incoming students if you have any questions about Santa Clara University. But as Trista mentioned, and as everyone has shared tonight in both of our sessions, you are now, or your student is now transitioning to be a Bronco. And so if we pass you off to another office, it's not because we don't want to talk to you, it's because they're going to have the answers to your questions. And at our point, we are getting ready to recruit the next class of Broncos. So you are always welcome to reach out to us, but just know if we need to redirect you, again, we're happy that you're coming to Santa Clara, but we may not have the answers that you're looking for.
Great. Yeah, thanks
Great.
for that reminder, Claire. And thank you to all of the future Broncos and their parents out there. We're ecstatic to meet everybody when you come on campus in September, if not before. So thank you so much for attending. And again, any questions, send an email our way. We're happy to help. Give us a call during business hours and we will be there.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
A huge thank you also to our one-stop office. We really appreciate you spending the past hour with us. I know you've shared a lot of great information and contact information for further connections. So thank you so much to Trista, Cindy, Dwayne, and Suzette. We appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing everyone on campus in the fall, our colleagues and our new students alike. So thanks for joining, everyone. Recordings will be available soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening. If it's evening for you, we all have a long weekend coming up. So wishing you rest, joy, all the good things as we head into summer. So bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, Claire. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.